Man, here we are again, 365 days later. For those of you who've been following me on this journey, this is my sixth time doing this, but every year for my birthday for the past couple of years, I release a video, kind of like my own video vlog of kind of my life, where I'm at, what's happening, what this past year was about, lessons that I've learned, X, Y, and Z. And so I went down the memory train yesterday and just kind of was watching through and seeing, wow, where I've come from and where I am now is I'm in the vein. I'm doing some things that I thought I wanted to do, that I said I wanted to do, and some things that I didn't even see that was coming for me. 33 was interesting. I want to start off by saying, if you know me, you know I'm a church baby. I'm third generation pastor's kid. My family is a ministry family. And so because of that, we believe that Jesus died at the age of 33 and was resurrected. But that Jesus died at the age of 33 can have you in a choke hold. I was talking to a cousin of mine and he was like, bro, when I turned 33, I had this same, I don't know if it's like irrational fear or whatever, but 33 was a anxiety driven year, because you just, this thought of like, man, is this it? Am I gone or whatever? And so here I am at 34. Praise be. As irrational as it was, I do think that there was some truth to that notion that there was some things that died at 33. And I feel like them dying is resurrecting or bringing to life some new things that I was not even looking for, didn't even have on my radar. And it's very interesting about that because, again, I'm a Pentecostal baby, so all I know is just the lingo and the language of Pentecostalism. And one of the big themes in Pentecostalism is revival. We always talk about revival. We always are, God's about to send revival, or we are in the next revival, and yada, yada, yada. But the problem with revival is revival language sounds good until something has to die. It's all fun and games until something has to die. And all my life, I've talked about revival, not realizing that in order for revival to occur, I had to let some things die. I had to let some ideas die. I had to let some relationships die. I had to let some preconceived notions about myself and my purpose die. And all of that happened at 33. Ministry looks very different for me right now because I had to let my idea of what ministry for me would look like die. Again, I'm third generation pastor, and I always had this idea of what ministry would look like. And God just kind of ran a semi-truck through it, through my desires of what I wanted ministry to look like, and begin to rewrite or reveal, should I say, his intended plan for me and how I was going to go about ministry, how I was going to go about just sharing the gospel. This is why River is so important to me, because I feel like it is the revelation of what God wants to do through me. So many people get caught up in their family thing that they never venture or press the limits of how does God want to use my iteration of this thing. It's like your daddy done it like this, your grandfather done it like this, and your uncles did it like this, so you have to do it like this. And that's a very confining place to be in. It's a coffin in and of itself to have to try to appease the predecessors before you the same way that they did it. And it's like, That's not me. That's not how I do it. That's not even how God wants me to do it. And I find myself fighting for, the sake of conversation, with Saul's armor when I was meant to use a slingshot. And there are many of you watching me right now, and it's like you've been fighting battles with stuff that you're not skilled at, and you're wondering, why do I keep losing? Why isn't this working for me? And it's like, because you're not using the weapons that you've been given. Another thing about me that had to die was my extreme independence. I'm very independent. I don't like to ask for help. But my independence, transparently, has become my ceiling. I can't get to the next level with trying to do it all by myself. I have to submit to the collaboration of others. And I have to do that because God did not create me to do what he's called me to do alone. In Genesis, the first time he ever said something wasn't good was when he saw Adam trying to do the assignment alone. So I had to let that part of me die. And I believe that something's resurrected in me where I have a clear sense of vision. I have a clear sense of focus. I have a clear sense of passion. I have a clear sense of direction. And for this year, for me, when I look back 365 days from now, I want to be able to say, Kels, you accomplished your goals for this year. You accomplished your financial goals. You accomplished your business goals. You accomplished your relational goals. You accomplished your goals. I want to put out more meaningful content. I want to put out more culture shifting content. I want to be able to produce some things that has the world in a chokehold. I believe that the body of believers has the greatest story ever told, but transparently, we suck at telling it sometimes. I believe that there is a level of quality that we have yet to tap into. And I'm not even saying that I have all the answers. I am not by any means the end-all be-all when it comes to creative quality. There are people who will run laps around me, and I submit and yield to your creative genius. But I do believe that there is a perspective, a thought, an idea about the story of Jesus that he's given me, and I'm ready to share it and tell it and produce it for other people. I want to take on more clients. I want to make sure the river is everywhere. I want to make sure my family is building. I still want to have a kid. I still want to have a couple of little me's, a couple of little Hallies running around. I want to be stable. I want to be secure. And I believe all of those things can happen because the resurrection and the revelation that if God's called me to something, he's going to get me through that same thing. Whatever the situation is, whatever the obstacle is, God is going to get me through it. My uncle would say it like this: where God leads, he feeds. Where God guides, he provides. If it's God's will, it's God's bill. My Baptist uncle would be so proud of me right now. Because in this season of my life, I would say the main principle that has resurrected in me is just to believe God the first time. He didn't mince his words. He didn't stutter. That's what I want for you. In 2024, let's believe God the first time. And maybe you need to allow some things to die in you. Maybe you need to allow some things to be buried so that you can see the resurrection and the revelation of Jesus in your life. I love you. I'm rooting for you. Thank you so much for celebrating me for my 34th birthday. And I hope that this year I can make all of you proud and make all of you say, man, Kels actually did it. Here we go. It's 34.